Shadowclash of Blinding Night was released in November 2004. This set focused on the war between light and darkness, with an emphasis on cards that support allied civilizations. Light is allied with nature, darkness is allied with fire, and water supports both light and darkness. It also introduced shield trigger creatures, which can be summoned immediately for no cost when they are broken as shields. Notable cards in this set include Mist-Riaz's Sonic Guardian, Locomotiver, Torkon, and two of the most powerful evolution creatures to date, Alcidaeus Lord of Spirits and Duel Master of Death. In this series, both Michael Swartz and myself will be opening 24 booster packs, or one box, of a core Duel Masters booster set. We will build a deck and play a best 2 out of 3, and the winner will receive a small prize to upgrade their deck. However, in each new episode, we will open another box of the next set that was released, moving in chronological order, constantly upgrading our decks before dueling each other at the end of the episode. This is the Duel Masters Progression Series.
Okay, so we're back in the winner's seat for episode 4 of the Progression Series. We took a risk with our deck building last week, and it worked out great for us. Unfortunately, though, we don't really have a lot to show for our victory this time. Rampage of the Super Warriors was not quite the most impactful of sets. We are in the unfortunate situation where we did miss the playset of Emerald in our pulls from this set. So really, there's honestly not anything else I can think of that I really care about. So we're just going to start spinning this wheel now. Honestly, what I want to see is just common, get the last Emerald, and call it a day. And let's see what we get. Okay, well, we get uncommon. I took a look at our card pool, and we did pull playsets of all the uncommons from this set that actually matter. However, there were a few uncommons that don't matter at all, but we don't have playsets of them. And I guess we get to choose one to add to our collection. I did take a look, and the one that is maybe marginally more useful for us to add is this card here, Eldritch Poison. So I'll just put it up on the screen. I don't think it's a very good card, and I don't know what we're ever going to do with it. But I can potentially see maybe there being some utility here, and we only pulled one of these in our pack opening. So I guess we will just add the second copy of this card to our collection. Probably it will just sit in there to rot, but who knows.
Well, it looks like Michael beat us again, but I can't say I'm too surprised given the fact that I played Mono Nature Beats. Anyways, that was kind of a throwaway episode. Rampage of the Super Warriors, not so great of a set, but today we have something special. We have Shadowclash of Blinding Night, which I think is going to be really big in this progression series because there are a lot of really good potential pulls, especially at the higher rarities. We have the possibility of getting Alcidaeus Lord of Spirits. This is going to be really tough to deal with in the progression series, but one card I'm most looking forward to is Mist-Riaz's Sonic Guardian. This is going to let me draw a card every time a creature is played, so I think it's going to help me deal with his core isles really well. We also have the introduction of shield trigger creatures. It's going to make aggressive decks a lot more difficult for the foreseeable future, at least until we start getting good speed attackers. Aqua Guard and Aqua Jolter are really going to help play into the Liquid People Evo lines. I'm also really looking forward to both Marinomancer and Hydro Hurricane, which kind of helps support like a light water darkness build. Darkness gets a lot of really good cards. First of all, Locomotiver. I think this is going to see a lot of play in control decks. In addition to that, we've got really good Demon Command support with Duel Master of Death, Trox General of Destruction, Galklife Dragon is decent for anti-light, and Magma Rex is pretty good against aggro decks.
Anyways, let's just get into the pack opening and see what we can pull here. We have a very rare here, actually, which is Astral Warper. This is actually a reasonably good effect. You put it into the battle zone and draw up to 3 cards. But the thing holding this card back is basically the Cyber Virus race here. And actually, that's going to be a bit of a running theme in this set, that there's good evolutions with not very good races that you just can't really play as a result.
Let's pray that I get something good. And let's get those 4 copies of Mist-Riaz's Sonic Guardian. Pack 1, okay, we got the first Locomotiver, that's not bad. Lots of shield trigger creatures, actually. Kamikaze Chainsaw Warrior, decent in Rush. Cannon Shell is actually pretty powerful. If you have all 5 shields, he goes up to 6,000 power, which is not really anything to scoff at on a 4-drop. So I like to see that.
Okay, and in the second pack already, we have Elsadeus, Lord of Spirits. This is an Angel Command evolution with a reasonably powerful effect, and as with the last holo, Angel Commands are kind of hard to use, and in fact in this limited environment I don't really have any playable Angel Commands. Photoside Lord of the Waste is actually something to take note of. It's sort of a light hate card, but it's a pretty good light hate card, and so if Ben's on some kind of light strategy, maybe we can use this to our advantage.
Okay! Pack 2, Trox General of Destruction. I will take that. Pretty good, very rare. When it comes into play, you can discard cards from your opponent's hand. And of course, it is a demon command, which might be useful if we can pull a ball loop. I'm really hoping.
Okay, this is a good card here, Neopha Horned Protector. Unfortunately, it's not one we can really use with our card pool, but I actually think this might be the best evolution in the set. It synergizes really well with a rare from earlier in the Progression Series called Rumbling Terrahorn. We don't have any Rumbling Terrahorns, unfortunately, but those two cards just synergize really well together because you can play Rumbling Terrahorn, search out this Horn Beast evolution, then evolve the Rumbling Terrahorn and search out another Rumbling Terrahorn, and you can use that to chain together a ton of threats, which is really good. We're not going to be doing that, but it's a cool card in any case.
Okay, Pack 5, Neopha Horn Protector. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I have very many good Horned Beasts yet, but it's a very fun card that I've always enjoyed just because it's cool. Will I actually use it? Probably not.
Okay, and here we have the boy, Duel Master of Death. I am not going to complain about seeing one of these in Pack 5. So as with a lot of the other evolutions, this is obviously an extremely powerful card. The problem is the demon command race, and most demon commands are clunky and hard to use, but we do have a few, and this card is just so cool, everything about it, the art. If I can make this work, I really want to run this. I don't know if we can quite make it work, but we're definitely going to be trying.
Galk Life Dragon is not too bad, not too bad. I like to see that. I am a little worried that I have not pulled any Mist Riaz yet, and we're 6 packs in. There's the first one, though, so we got one on the board.
Okay, here we have Smile Angler, which has a creepy smile, and what does it do? Nothing useful.
And in pack number 8, we are pulling Hydro Hurricane. I have some ideas with this, but it does rely on getting the right pulls in this set. Let's see if we can keep these pulls coming.
Noble Geyser Giant Rock Beast. More like a dumb Geyser Giant Rock Beast. I don't know. This card sucks.
Hydro Hurricane number 2, happy about that, but I am starting to get scared about Mist Riaz. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh god, okay, Supporting Tulip is not the very rare we wanted. I want Alcideus. Magmarex, good to pick up.
And the second Neopha Horn Protector, but again, without Rumbling Terrahorn, I don't care.
Please just give me a Mist Riaz. Okay, thank god this is a good pack. Trox number 2, love to see it. Mist Riaz number 2, that's what we need. But I need more Mist Riaz. I want this whole playset so bad you don't even understand.
Stop giving me these terrible holos, okay? I'm not gonna play any of these.
Just give me more Mist Riaz. God. Trox number 3, I'm not going to complain about that, but I'm on pack 18 and only 2 Mist Riaz. I'm really banking on pulling this playset. Okay, thank God I got the third. And Galk Life Dragon number 2.
Oh my gosh, okay, I guess I'm not complaining about this holo. We have 2 copies of Ballroom now, so that's pretty cool. We do have Magmarex. This thing is a really useful shield trigger creature, actually.
A third Galk Life Dragon, what is happening? Hydro Hurricane number 3, like to see it. Why do I have just as many Galk Life Dragons as I do Mist Riaz? This is rigged.
And finally, in pack 18, we have the first copy of Mist Riaz Sonic Guardian. I'm upset this is our first copy of it, but at least we have one. I'd really like to see a few more in the remaining packs here.
We did it. It was close, but we finally got Mist Riaz Sonic Guardian number 4 to complete the playset.
And second copy of Elsadeus. As I said before, we're not going to be using this, but I love the card, so I'm glad to see it here. third copy of Neopha Horn Protector. I guess that's neat. But what we really want to be seeing here, we want some more Miss Riaz Sonic Guardians, and we've only seen one so far. We have one pack left, so I'd like to get at least 2 of them. Let's just hope we can get something good in the final pack here, and, okay. The playset of Neopha Horn Protector, that doesn't really matter to me. Still only one Miss Riaz, which is really unfortunate, but we did pull 2 Balloon, which I'm absolutely ecstatic about.
Last pack magic, what do we see? Trox number 3. Okay. It could be worse, I didn't get the Balloon or the Alcideus I really wanted, but I have some interesting things to work with. Let's put this into OCTGN and see what we can come up with.
Well, here's the deck we're taking to today's episode. We already saw this in the Evo Crushionators of Doom episode, and it worked quite well, and the basic strategy is pretty much the same here. So the reason we're running this as opposed to a more tempo or mid-range strategy that we ran last week. So first off, since Evo Crushionators of Doom, we've actually picked up several new cards for this archetype. Most notably Locomotiver and Searing Wave that I think raised the power level of this deck quite a bit since we ran it last. And second off, and this is more of a metagame call I guess, but if I were Ben, the deck I would be taking to this week's episode is some sort of light control deck trying to leverage Mystery as Sonic Guardian. And if he runs that, just incidentally, he's going to be really well positioned against any more aggressive strategy that I might try and run. I think this sort of control strategy is the right way to try and attack that deck. And even if I'm wrong and Ben's on something totally different from that, I think this deck is just generically powerful and so should be pretty well positioned no matter what Ben is playing. The game plan is pretty much the same as when we last ran this. To start off, we do have a new card. We have Aqua Guard, which we're running 3 of. It's a pretty simple card. It's just a cheap blocker that also has the Liquid People race, but that's exactly what we want, because we need some quantity of cheap blockers, and we want Evo bait for our Crystal Paladin and Crystal Lancer, which we're still running as our finishers. Next, we're still on the 2 Bloody Squeedo to round out the early blockers. We have 3 Emerald, it's a Cyberlord that pairs with Illusionary Merfolk, and it lets us put shield triggers into our shield zone, which is obviously quite good. We're on 2 Spiral Gate, 1 Crimson Hammer, 4 Aqua Hulkus. This is a new addition here. We have 2 Wailing Shadow Belbet Flow. This deck just doesn't really have great, clean ways of dealing with like medium-sized evolution creatures. And so since this is a Slayer, it can go in and take out those. And so if Ben is on some strategy that's utilizing something like that, we're going to be really glad these are in here. The more significant new addition here, we have 4 Locomotiver. This is a card from Shadowclash of Blinding Night and one of the recently introduced shield trigger creatures, and those are quite strong just generically. This one in particular is just absolutely insane though, because it also has a come into play effect, which is your opponent discards a card at random from his hand. And so at 4 mana, this is actually really good, even if we just play it from our hand, not as a shield trigger at all. It gives us another body on the field, so it lets us develop our board, and it takes resources out of Ben's hand, which is exactly what we want from a control deck. Next we have 2 Brain Serum, 1 Crystal Memory, 2 Death Smoke, 1 Crystal Paladin. This is all stuff we've seen before. 4 Core Isle. This is something we've also seen before, but I do just want to highlight, I think the fact that we have Core Isle and Ben doesn't, I really think is what's the difference maker in terms of why I think my control decks are going to be better than Ben's in this format. This card is just absolutely insane, and honestly, I think you can just see this every time this card hits the field. Next, we're on 3 Illusionary Merfolk, still one of the best draw engines we have access to. 1 Aqua Knight. This is a card from the base set that we're newly running in this deck today. So this is a Liquid People that has the effect when it's destroyed, return it to your hand instead. So it's just a Liquid People that Ben can't permanently deal with. The reason we weren't running this before is because this card is really awkward into Core Isle, but as we've just said, Ben is not on Core Isle, and so I think this is going to be a really good inclusion for this deck. just a persistent threat that Ben can't really do much about. Next, we have 2 Meteosaur, 3 Tornado Flame, and then this is from the previous set, Rampage of the Super Warriors, but this is going to be the first time either of us are running it in the Progression Series. So we have 3 Searing Wave here, and this card is also just absolutely insane. It's a one-sided board wipe that destroys all creatures in your opponent's side of the field that have power 3000 or less. Most of the relevant creatures in the game fall under that threshold, and so this is basically going to clear Ben's field of any creature he has other than like his finishers or maybe his blockers. But this can potentially be like a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1. Just an absolutely insanely powerful card. Probably one of the strongest in the game. It does have the downside of putting one of our shields into the graveyard, but like honestly, that is a price we're more than willing to pay to run this card. Then to round out the top end, we have 1 Aqua Bouncer, 2 Crystal Lancer, 2 Burst Shot. This card is a bit awkward because it kills most of our creatures also, but it's here in acknowledgement of the fact that we're really going to want this if Ben is on some aggressive strategy. This is going to make a huge difference if it's in our shield zone, and so we do have a few of those here. And then 2 Terror Pit, 2 Lost Soul. That's the deck. I think this deck is quite strong, and I think it should do pretty well no matter what Ben is on, but we'll see what happens.
This is the deck that I will be bringing to today's duel. I'm going to call this one Streamlined Shadow Moon. Now let me explain the rationale behind this deck. My theory going into this is that right now in this meta of a limited format up through set 4 Shadowclash, that mass removal is going to be the key to victory. Every single deck that Michael could possibly be playing is going to be very weak to mass removal. We're talking about Evo decks, all the Evo bait is going to die. Control decks are focused on swarming the field with things like Aqua Hulkuses, Core Isles, Emeralds, basic things like that that are all going to die to mass removal. And obviously any rush deck is going to be very vulnerable to mass removal. So going off of that, I'm just trying to mass remove his board, discard out his hand, and win with my beaters. At the same time, I'm trying to protect myself from mass removal, so I'm tending to play cards with a little bit higher power. Let me explain the card by card, and you can see what's going on. I have my blockers set up of 8 blockers, 4 Bloody Squito, and 4 Gray Balloon Shadow of Greed. These are the strongest blockers I have in the Darkness Civilization, and they're low cost, so it's going to be really good against anything aggressive. On top of that, Bloody Squito is safe to Searing Wave, and Gray Balloon, he can get Searing Waved, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem, as I'll show you later. 2 Horrid Worms, I wanted something else that's decent in the early game, and there wasn't many other great options in these civilizations. Horrid Worm is also going to be really good just to get some disruption going. Same thing with my 4 Locomotivers, which are great shield triggers to discard cards too. But one of the key components of the deck here is Shadow Moon Cursed Shade. This is going to give all my darkness creatures plus 2000 power, and after that, I'm completely immune to mass removal. Searing Wave, yeah, it's going to kill Shadow Moon itself, but it'll take like 2 Searing Waves to do it. So if Searing Wave, Burst Shot, Magma Rex are all dead cards, that's going to give me a huge advantage, because the big thing I'm lacking in this deck is draw power. So if he's drawing cards, but most of them are dead anyways, I don't even care. Follow that up with 2 copies of Death Smoke. I need just some target removal, and this is the best thing I've got. Rumblegate, super strong because of all my powerful creatures. I'll juice up with Shadow Moon, get strong, and I should be able to take out his weenies with even just Locomotivers and Horrid Worms. Now I have my insane setup with lots of mass removal. 4 copies of Searing Wave, 4 copies of Magma Rex, 3 copies of Burst Shot. Searing Wave, I think, is obviously like the best mass removal in the game right now. It only affects your opponent, and it's all creatures 3000 or less. Pretty much anything relevant is going to die to this. Magma Rex, not quite as like all-encompassing as Searing Wave is, but it's going to kill Emeralds, it's going to kill Torcons, and it's going to kill Locomotivers and like Colon the Oracles and other like random little shield trigger creatures here and there. I don't have much that's going to die to it, especially if I have Shadow Moon on the field. I don't have to worry about it at all. And also 3000 power is not a bad shield trigger to hit early when you're up against a rush deck. Burst Shot is going to be really useful because I'm pretty safe from Burst Shot. I don't really care if I lose my Locomotivers. In Horrid Worm, I don't have that many anyways. 1 Terror Pit, it's the only one I got. I wish I had more. And now my endgame trump card, Trox General of Destruction. In this deck, I'm going to build up a big field of darkness creatures, so this is essentially Lost Soul on a 6k body, or 8k if I have Shadow Moon on board, that double breaks and ends the game. super powerful, and I think it would be really funny because I have 4 of these, and once like 2 of them are gone, there's no way he's gonna expect the 3rd, and once 3 are gone, there's no way he's expecting the 4th, so he won't play around it. That's gonna be key. To finish off my beaters, I've got 2 copies of Galclife Dragon and 1 Gatling Sky Terror. The Gatling Sky Terror, it's not that great because Core Isle is a thing, Death Smoke is a thing. It's really hard to stick it on the board, so I wanted to stick more with guys that have come into play effects. So that's where Galclife Dragon comes in. If Michael is on any kind of deck playing light, like if he pulls Alcidaeus and he's playing light, he's gonna have so many cards that die to this. All the generic blockers that he has, Emerald Grass, Saurius, Cenotine Jade Tree, all those, boom, dead, just like that. On top of that, Mist Riaz, Magris, almost every relevant like meta light card is gonna die to this. The only thing I won't kill is like the Angel commands, but if those things are sticking on the board and Alcidaeus is coming out, I've probably lost the game anyways. The biggest drawback in this deck is that I don't have draw power, so I'm gonna try to go second regardless of if I'm up against a rush deck or a control deck. When I'm up against a control deck, I'm just trying to discard them down and then just win by having stronger top decks and stronger creatures overall until it gets to a point that they can't deal with it. I hope this works out. It's time to duel. Welcome to episode 4? Shadowclash? Is that what we're at right now?
Episode 4, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a quick peek at your deck over there, and I see a lot of cards in that deck.
There's a lot of cards,
That's,
yeah. We don't have the same list we had last week.
I'm at a 40 card list.
You're still on the lean mean 40 card machine here.
Yeah, but there's one key difference. Is that I will spoil it. I'm not on the mean, lean, green machine this time.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. We put the mono green away.
The deck was reasonable. It didn't pan out too well last week.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back one day. All right, are you ready to just jump into this?
I'm ready. I have to figure out how. Oh, roll die.
Yeah. Oh, I got an 8. Oh, you
it
doubled
bodied.
me.
I doubled you.
All right. Win in the
so
die roll.
You are on a 40 card deck.
I am on a 40 card deck.
That at least probably means you're not on control. I guess we'll just go first. That's probably safer.
All right. I am setting up my battle zone in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
I did not do the fancy battle zone setup, but oh well. Doesn't matter. We will just charge this.
Ooh.
Well, he's a guy.
yeah, that's a thing. All right.
And your go.
I'll draw. So you're on a 52 card deck, which makes me, if I had to guess, just by the size of your deck, there's one of 2 possibilities. You're either back on Darkwater Fire Control, or you're playing like something with Mist Riaz in it.
Mist Riaz is quite a card, let me tell you.
It is a card. The thing about this is like, if this was game 2, my play would be easy. I would know what to play to mana. But how much do I want to give away? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I even said in my deck profile, I thought you were going to be on Mist Riaz control, so I already have no clue what's happening.
Well, I'm going to put something down. It's gonna say something, but I don't know what it's gonna say. I'm gonna charge at Magma Rex to mana.
Okay.
And I'll end my turn. I don't think that gives away very much.
Are you? Oh my god. So, there was a deck I thought about running for this week's episode, which I'm not, but it was basically like mono red rock beasts or something close to that. I thought about running that.
Yeah, the Rock Beast Evo is in this.
Magma Rex is a rock beast and quite a good one. But we'll see if that's what you're on or not.
It could be. It could be anything.
You're on 40 cards and you're showing fire. Let's run out an Emerald.
Sure.
So we will set this card as a shield 6, and we'll pull up shield 1. Move to hand. Okay. And now I can just hit Control E.
Okay, I will draw. I mean, so far, it looks like you're playing Dark Water Fire. We got
Well,
emeralds.
we've got dark and water.
We got dark and water at least. But I will say, maybe playing this Magma Rex to mana was a bad idea because every card of yours that I know dies to Magma Rex.
Actually, Magma Rex is a big reason I didn't run the same deck as last week, by the way, because Magma Rex just absolutely destroys that deck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna put the other Magma Rex down.
Magma Rex Turbo, my turn.
Yeah, I don't think it's telling you anything.
Any sense. Well, that is a card. Well, I guess you thought I was on Dark Water Fire.
And that's what I'm seeing right now.
There's Dark Water and Fire for you. Now we'll run out an Aqua Hocus.
Okay, yep, that's pretty good.
And your go.
Alright, draw. Ooh, that's not bad. I don't, like, the things you don't want to do, but sometimes you have to do. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yep.
I don't want to play this to mana because of that, but I don't want to play this to mana because it's that.
Yeah, I just know exactly what you're talking about.
I need
right
this
now.
for that. Oh, my viewers know what I'm saying because I'm highlighting the cards. Alright.
I'm in the dark, I suppose.
I'm gonna play Searing Wave to mana.
Okay, Searing Wave is also good.
That was a bad move. I'm an idiot. Go ahead. This will work out in the long run.
This doesn't look like an aggro deck. This looks... I mean, if you are playing an aggro deck, you had a really bad draw.
I'm playing Mono Red Rush, can't you tell?
No, I can't. So you're probably on, like, mono red control, trying to really make use of the board wipes, or you're on, like... I mean, you don't have to be on mono red just because that's all I've seen, but you're probably mostly red at this point. What does that say about what we want to do? I have no idea. Guess we will just charge mana and pass, so I guess we can end the turn.
Draw. I was kind of waiting to do this. I was worried about you locomotivering me, and I'd have to discard this, and I really didn't want to discard it. I'm gonna play Death Smoke to mana.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tap 4, and I'm gonna Death Smoke your Emerald.
Alright.
And I'll end my turn.
Right.
I was like too scared of you just merfolking me right there. Because I know you're definitely on merfolk with that many cards. And emeralds.
I mean, you never know. We're gonna charge mana and then end our turn.
Oh my gosh, what are you holding in that hand of yours? I'm not that concerned what you have. I feel like if I do this, I know exactly what's gonna happen to me. But do I have another choice at this point? Not really. Let's tap 3, and let's put the Horrid Worm on. Get a little bit of pressure up in here, and I'll end my turn.
No, Parasite Worms is also something I was thinking about running, believe it or not.
Dude, there's new I only pulled 2 Horrid Worms, but there's new worms in this set. Finally!
Yes.
My 8 Chaos Worms can do something.
So... I actually had like a sweet mono black deck I was thinking about that was going to be like Parasite Worms and then like big black finishers, but the deck was bad. We're gonna...
The Meteosaur's back, okay.
Yeah. Meteosaur the Horrid Worm, and your go.
Draw a card. I'm gonna play this to mana.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay 4 for Shadow Moon Cursed Shade.
I didn't see this card come in. This is a good one, though.
I kind of wish I had it before the Horrid Worm now that I see the Meteosaur was there. I was kind of thinking it was going to be Core Isle bait, but I guess it was Meteosaur bait. I guess you probably want to save the Core Isle.
And I don't want to throw any of these cards to mana. Maybe I just don't.
Sit at 5?
I mean, I'm thinking about it.
I hate sitting at 5. It feels so bad. But sometimes I know what you mean. Like, you have to.
So this is a ghost. There is the ghost evolution, but I'm pretty sure you told me you didn't pull any of that.
Yeah, that is correct. I did not pull it. I really wish I did. And this deck probably would have looked way different if I did.
Right. But, okay, we're gonna not play mana again. We're just going to run out the Locomotiver, I can
Ooh.
pick myself according to OCTGN. We are not going to do
okay.
that. I forgot about this card. I didn't
Yeah.
pull this. This card is good, though.
It's pretty good.
And you can go, or I have to... There we go. Now you can go.
Just 5 mana. What would you sit on? I'm guessing you probably don't need to core isle my stuff if it's not threatening you, so you probably don't care about it. Could be holding on to like burst shots, but you might have just managed that. Could be holding on to Evos.
I mean, burst shot looks pretty awkward into this field right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, if you had burst shot, you would not be playing it right now. That is fair. I'm gonna pass the turn.
Pass? Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna do what you did. I'm gonna sit on my mana. I'm just so curious these cards in your hand right now. If you didn't discard my Trox, I would have got you on at least one of them.
Well, we will play mana this time.
Okay.
But I think this is 3,000 power, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just ending your turn there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was
Okay.
sort of thinking about attacking, but like that's not actually good.
You've got 6 mana. You could be holding Lost Soul, but I feel like you probably would have been playing more mana if you did have it. But you could have definitely drawn it since then. Do I want to use my stuff now or wait? Yeah, I'm gonna, just in case you have it, I'm just gonna do this now before it becomes an issue. I'm gonna Searing Wave.
Okay.
And no,
so
my
that's-
burst shot. All right, go ahead.
Alright. Crystal Paladin not looking super good against your deck, although you
Yeah,
do
not
have Grey
anymore.
Balloon Shadow of Greed.
Yeah, he's sitting down there.
You're probably on like Bloody Squeedo also. Yeah, you had the right read. I actually did like just draw it last turn.
Okay, yep. You can see
But-
my 2 cards.
Lost Wall. Gawk Life Dragon. That card is not bad,
Oh,
actually.
he's so good. I was kind of hoping you were playing a deck with Mr. Riaz, but that did not pan out.
Believe it or not, I only pulled one Mystery as I was
Oh
really
my god, are you
upset about
serious?
that. Yeah.
That's crazy. That you got core isled like I did.
Yeah. End turn. There.
Alright. I'm top decking now. So I'm just in top deck play a card mode, I suppose. Let's put down the 4K Horrid Worm. Go ahead.
Alright.
But 4K Horrid Worm, like that's not, you can't scoff at that.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Play Brain Serum, and then that's it from me. Go ahead.
Alright, I mean it's net no loss here, so I'm gonna swing in. I'm gonna hit shield 2. And for
Okay.
discarding, going from your left to right, I'm gonna discard like from the 3rd card from the left.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3 from my left.
Yeah.
That's gonna be Illusionary Merfolk.
Oh, okay. That's actually
You were
not
right
easy.
that I was on Illusionary Merfolk.
I'm actually
and
pretty
then-
glad about hitting that.
And you are hitting Shield 2, right?
Shield 2, correct.
But not the Emerald one.
Right.
Okay, well, this one is a trigger, and we are gonna use it.
Ah, no, I'm
Another
like, all right, I'm
Brain
gonna do this.
Serum.
It's net no minus, and then it's Brain Serum, so it is. I got rid of the Merfolk, I
Draw
guess.
2 from the Brain Serum.
Yep. Yeah, you could go ahead. It's scary sitting here with 1 card in hand, and you're sitting there with 6.
Alright, here's the play. So we're gonna charge mana.
That puts you to 8 mana.
Yes. You will play Emerald, not using the effect.
There's the Merfolk, I'm guessing.
No, not Merfolk.
Oh no, not Merfolk. I guess the discard was really worth it then.
We're gonna Terror Pit the Shadow Moon Cursed Shade.
Okay.
There we go. And then now it's your turn. Go ahead.
Sure.
I don't know if that was the right play or not. I really don't. I may regret getting rid of this Terror Pit at some point in time.
You're sitting on 3 in hand, which I'm guessing by this point must be pretty decent. I feel like Horrid Worm is probably safer if it's tapped, because then you can't Death Smoke it, so I'm probably going to swing at you. If you had the Merfolk, I do think you probably would have played it over Terror Pitting this. So I'm actually going to just swing with the Horrid Worm on shield 3. How am I going to do this to random with 3? I'll roll 3 dice and whatever is highest. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, so the middle card.
All right, that was my Crystal Memory.
Oh, okay. I actually like to hit that. We're hitting shield 3.
Peek. Yeah, we'll trigger this too. We've got Tornado
Yeah.
Flame here.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I will not complain about that.
Now I'm sitting here without a board. I'm gonna cry.
My turn.
Yep.
What on earth is this draw? That was not what I was expecting to see. Well, we've got something we're doing. We will just play another Lost Soul.
Alright, you can see what I'm holding on to.
First shot and Searing Wave. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't justify Searing Waving the one Emerald when I just discarded the Merfolk. I figured if you had another, like, if you had the Merfolk...
I said Searing Wave to mana 2 turns ago. Yeah, no, although actually, if you didn't hit the Crystal Memory, what I was going to do for this turn, and this is the only reason I played mana last turn, I was gonna, like, Crystal Memory to grab Merfolk, basically.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna pass my turn.
Alright, okay,
Alright.
Aquahulkus.
Aquahulkus. That's pretty good.
We will successfully end my turn.
I will draw.
Geez.
It's not what I wanted, but I mean, it's funny. Is it right? Probably not. I'll play the Bloody Squeedo to mana, and I'm gonna put my 6k vanilla Galk-Life Dragon on the board, and I'll end my turn.
I approve.
It's big, I guess. Bigger than your board.
Well, it is nice that you did this just in time for me to draw Corile.
Oh, of course.
So, Corile that. Do we want to go in? Part of me thinks maybe we do. Let me think about this for a second. So, like, if we go in and you just have absolutely nothing, then I win next turn. Don't know what the odds of that are. You're obviously running a lot of board wipes in this deck, so like if I give you Searing Wave or First Shot, that's a problem. I think that's going to be a problem no matter when I decide to go in. Yes, we can try and wait until we can like Lancer you. Yeah, I think we don't want to give you the board wipe, so you can go ahead.
Alright. Do you know what I'm going to do on my turn?
I'm guessing you're gonna play the Galk-Life Dragon.
How did you know?
Lucky guess.
I guess maybe I could have held it if I think you were gonna Corile me again or something.
I mean, that's possible. We're just gonna pass.
Alright. It's not quite the one-time Searing Wave or Burst Shot I was hoping for, but it's the one-time Magma Rex to kill the Emerald.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And it's just something to sit on board. I feel like you don't have anything to deal with Galk-Life Dragon right now, which would be really funny if I just start attacking you. That might be the play. But you did put down something with Emerald. You're down 1 Terror Pit. I know you have 2 in your deck. Could it be another one? It could also be Spiral Gate, which is not exactly very fun when you have Galk-Life Dragon against a deck without light. You already have 4 in hand, and I'm top decking. You know what? If I do attack though, and then like you get Terror Pit and Lancer, that's not fun. Alright, I'm gonna break shields 4 and 5.
Alright.
You've already gotten enough shield triggers. There's no way you have more.
Well, neither of those were triggers. You are correct there.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, we'll draw here. You have none in hand.
Nothing in hand.
Okay, so we'll charge mana.
Yeah, I don't think you want to Searing Wave my 1 Magma Rex.
Okay, so it's tough. Okay, I guess this isn't that tough. So we'll play Bloody Squeedo.
Sure.
And then one thing I will just say that I remember is that you do have Scarlet Sky Terror, by the way.
I do have a Scarlet Sky Terror.
Well, Corile,
Yep.
Dragon Fellow. And I think we are fine not attacking. You can go.
Alright. I'm gonna just do the obvious thing, I guess, and end my turn. I don't have to think very much about that. And I'm not about to swing into your Terror Pit with my Magma Rex.
Right, okay,
One
so
time,
we'll charge,
not a Corile.
Charge mana.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we do kind of want to go in now, actually. Maybe we should have gone in last turn. I don't know. I think this is a deck I need to be more aggressive against than I have been so far. But whatever. So we'll Tornado Flame the Magma Rex.
Yep.
And now Aqua Hulkus will swing at Shield 2.
Okay, let's peek. Okay,
First
Shield
shot.
2 goes to hand.
Chlorile will swing at Shield 3.
It goes to hand.
And the other Chlorile will swing at Shield 4.
Peek. Alright, I do have a shield trigger this time.
Okay.
I have Locomotiver.
Alright, Locomotiver is good.
What did we get? Locomotiver! Alright.
Alright, then you can go ahead.
Draw. How do I want to do this? I feel like you don't have that much. Yeah, and I don't know what your shield is. I'm assuming it's a shield trigger. It's kind of weird that this feels optimal. No, I wish this was just a little bit stronger. Oh,
geez.
I wish it, like, either this was a little bit stronger or I had, like, a little bit more mana.
Hey, yup. I know how that goes.
You only have 2 in your hand. I have to guess you've probably got a Crystal Lancer, which I don't like that. Alright, I guess this makes sense. Or should I play the mana? I don't think it matters. Yeah,
I hate that when you
I
just
don't think the mana
spend like
matters.
3 minutes thinking about a decision that just like won't matter unless some oddly specific thing happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play Shadow Moon Cursed Shade, which is
Okay.
enough for Locomotiver to go over one of your creatures, which is kind of
That's
nice.
true.
So I'm gonna attack Aqua Hulkus with Locomotiver.
I mean, I don't think there's any reason not to block this, so we're
Yeah.
gonna block.
And I'll attack Aqua Hulkus with this guy.
Alright, so...
It was pretty much whatever I did, you were gonna block one Locomotiver, and then
Right.
I get a kill. Go ahead. And then I just get your Crystal Lancer bait out of there, but it's still possible you can just drop it right now anyways. You do have quite a bit of mana.
We'll start things out by tapping 1 mana for an Aqua Guard.
Yep, and then...
Unfortunately, we're not gonna follow up with a Crystal Lancer, though.
4.
We are gonna follow up with a Death Smoke on
Yep,
your
okay, that's pretty
untapped guy. You've already got 2 in hand. I've only got 1 in hand, and since I've not played it, you can reasonably assume it does nothing.
Right. Yeah, if it did
So,
something, you probably would have slapped it down.
I think we just go for it. So Chlorile, hit your last shield.
Alright, let's peek. And I will put it to my hand and admit defeat.
Let's go. Did you say I was going first?
Yeah, you're going first.
And I've got the classic turn 1 dilemma of having no idea what to play to mana. I guess we'll play the only 1-drop in our deck to mana.
Yeah, that's pretty
that
fair.
makes sense.
Yep. Alright, I'm just gonna play Bloody Squeedo to mana, and it's your go.
Alright.
I don't think it's gonna be very useful anytime soon.
Draw.
I think it's funny, like, when you have decks like this, sometimes the blockers, like, even though they're the low cost, they just go to the mana zone.
Right.
It's like you'd rather have something else.
Okay, so we will run out an Emerald again, and we are going to set a card as Shield 6, and then just move Shield 1 to hand, and then that's it for me.
So you know what I was saying about the blockers? Go ahead.
Yup, makes sense.
It's just not useful to me right now. I'm not worried about the Emerald going in. If the Emerald goes in, you're probably just, like, giving me the win anyways.
Well,
Aqua
we'll play
Hulkus.
Aqua Hulkus. Draw a card. I was saying I need to be more aggressive, but I don't think we want to be this aggressive.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You could go.
Like, you need to be aggressive to a certain point.
Well, like the way, like I need some critical mass of creatures where it'll like meaningfully threaten you. If I just go in with 1 measly Emerald, it's like just giving you a card.
It's like just giving me the Magma Rex.
Yeah. Like if I just went in, like even if you just play Magma Rex and kill my Emerald, what do I do then?
Yeah.
I'm just so sad.
Go ahead.
We'll draw.
Drawing is usually good.
I agree. We'll play Spiral Gate to mana, that is, and then we'll cast Brain Serum. I am kind of considering attacking here. Part of this has to do with my hand also, but like, You have burst shots, and they get progressively more awkward as I develop more and more creatures.
Yeah.
So,
It's almost like you would rather get it out of the way when there's just two.
right. Yeah, well, like I said, part of this is also because of what's in my hand, but I actually do think we want to go in here. So we're gonna
Interesting,
swing at Shield 1 with Emerald.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Oh, that is not how I take it to my hand. That is how I take it to my hand. It is not a shield trigger. You did not hit the burst shot.
Then we'll go into Shield 2 with Aqua
Oh,
Focus.
okay. And that is not the burst shot either.
Alright. Go ahead.
Okay, well, at least my mana zone choice is pretty obvious. Okay, this is interesting. I guess my only real option is to get Coriled and then attacked on, probably. Go ahead.
Right, so we'll draw. We will finally add a darkness card to our mana zone.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like Locomotiver gets worse the bigger my hand is.
that's also true, but you were right.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
okay.
Corile that.
Yep.
And at this point, we just keep going. Emerald will swing at Shield 3.
One-time burst shot. One-time burst shot.
Alright. That's
That helps.
reasonable. Then you can go ahead.
I would have liked to see it a little bit earlier, but I won't lie, I'm not disappointed that it happened after another card was on board. I guess I don't need that anymore.
Probably fair.
And let's just run out a blocker now, because I'd rather have that. Go
Makes
ahead.
sense. Okay, so we'll draw. A bit of a tricky one, actually. Alright, we'll charge mana.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter what we tap. We will play yet another Emerald.
Sure.
We will use the effect. So we'll pick up Shield 2. Just drag that to my hand. That is an interesting one. We're not going to do anything else, so go ahead.
Am I going to regret this? I don't think I will. No, I won't. I'm just gonna put the other Searing Wave to mana. I'm gonna pay 2 mana for Bloody Squeedo. And I'm gonna pay
Alright.
4 mana for Deny the Illusionary Merfolk.
Okay. That's reasonable.
And I'll end my turn.
Alright, I'm not too... I've gotten you down to 2 shields, and we have the same number of cards in hand, and... Like, you've got blockers, but those are just blockers, right?
Yeah, they are just blockers. I mean, Gray Balloon can attack creatures, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, okay. We will tap 3. Run out the Corile.
That's 5.
5, you know what I
Yeah.
meant. Hit that back on top of your deck, and you can go.
Okay. Now it's an interesting play. A very interesting play. What would you have held on to that you didn't want to play to mana? What am I worried about it being? That is the question. I don't think whatever happens that I just resummon the Gray Balloon right now. I probably do something else. But which other thing is it? You used one other Corile already, was that correct?
Yeah, I've played 1 Corile already.
Oh, why? This is such a weird game right now. The whole dynamic of, like, me just having less shields, like, it makes my decisions, like, so much more pressure on them, I guess.
Yeah,
to
being
be
at low
constantly-
shields against Crystal Lancer is kind of
Yeah.
awkward also.
Yeah, exactly. But you have 2 in hand. You didn't play mana. Okay, if I had to make a guess, this is my guess. But it's not... This is my guess out of the blue. You had a 3-card hand, and you were holding Corile, Illusionary Merfolk, Lost Soul. And you were like, do you want to greed and try to get the Corile out and the Merfolk before Lost Souling my hand? Or do you want to, like, play one of the combo to mana so you could get the Lost Soul? That's what I'm thinking. So, what's the worst for me, though? Like, I could... If I kill your Corile, you can't Merfolk. But then I'm guessing you probably Lost Soul me. Or you're just holding straight Garbanzo beans the whole time. And it literally doesn't
that
matter.
happens too.
What if I do just, like... What if I just call the bluff and just run out the Gray Balloon again and just leave it at that?
I mean, he's a greedy balloon. Greedy shadow? Is balloon
shadow
his
of
name,
greed.
or is...
Yeah, Shadow of Greed. If you didn't Corile me, this would have been, like, such an easy decision. But the Corile just changes everything, and it makes me sad.
Corile's a good card.
It's so good.
Insanely
And I'm
good.
not playing blue because I have 1 Corile. Okay, I know what the play is. I'm just gonna put that to mana, and I'm gonna regret it. I really, truly am gonna regret it. But I'm actually just gonna Terror Pit the Core Isle.
Okay, that's a respectable play.
Go ahead.
Got 2 in hand.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna take the Merfolk to mana into Lost Soul. I made up my mind.
Okay, so actually, unbelievably, you are correct. But I will say that I just drew the Lost Soul this
Are you
turn.
kidding me? Okay.
So if my hand was what you said before, if I had Corile, Merfolk, Lost Soul, I think I would have just slapped the Corile to mana and played the Lost Soul.
That's
like,
pretty reasonable.
Immediately.
That's why I was like, how greedy did I think you were?
Since we are god at top decade and we can just draw Lost Soul at will, we're gonna play Lost Soul.
It was so
just
awkward.
So insanely good at this game.
It was awkward. I wanted to play the Trox when I had 2 on board because it was going to wipe your hand. But because you Core-Iled me, it was only going to get rid of 1. So I'm like, we could play the RNG roulette on getting the Merfolk or the Lost Soul.
I will, like, if you didn't kill the Corile, I mean, I did also have the Merfolk.
Yeah.
That one we had the previous
At the end of the day, I think getting rid of the Core-Isle was the right play.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, I guess
pretty happy with this.
We're just gonna play top decking Gothams.
Oh my god. Oh,
go ahead.
1 card I didn't want you to discard.
God, that actually would have been so annoying to deal with in this situation.
Alright. Well, we're gonna draw. We'll just pass. Go ahead.
You know what we're gonna do?
Locomotive again?
Yeah, we're just gonna rip it right off the top a second time. Alright, go ahead. I guess I don't have to worry about Merfolk now. That's kind of nice. But I guess if you're top decking without a field, like, it doesn't matter that much.
Alright, you ended, right? You weren't gonna go in?
Yeah, I ended. I guess I could go in and try to hit your shield blasts, but
as far as top decks go, this is a decent one. We'll play Aqua Hulkus.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
And then you can go.
It's not exactly what I was hoping to see right now. Yeah, you can go ahead.
We'll try and start rebuilding here, I guess. 5. We'll play Meteosaur, get a Locomotiver out of there, and that's it from me.
You know what? I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna sit with my 2 cards.
Alright.
Give me the Lost Soul. I'm ready for it.
This is an interesting one. It's not Lost Soul.
You already used 1 Lost Soul, so I kind of was figuring you didn't have one.
So what are you holding here? What would you hold on to? You already played Terror Pit this game, right? You Terror Pitted my Core Isle.
I Terror Pitted the Core
Isle.
Will it come back to bite me? Maybe.
I think if you had Death Smoke, you would have killed Aqua Hulkus. Could just be like more blockers. This is a weird one, let me tell you.
Yeah, I have a suspicion.
Let's see, what's in your graveyard here? Look at all cards. Yeah, okay, so we're not gonna play anything. We are going to swing at Shield 4 with Meteosaur, though.
Alright, I'm gonna take it.
And I think that's it from me. Go ahead. Make it maximally awkward for you to Searing Wave.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was what you wanted.
Oh, that's not my only... I mean, I am sort of threatening to kill you if I have removal also.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's stuff I can do.
Yeah.
I just have to decide which is the right one. The problem is that Searing Wave becomes especially awkward when I know that you have Aqua Guard Crystal Lancer. That could just, like, threaten me at any time.
Yeah.
That's not a fun proposition to be dealing with. But, I mean, it gets rid of your board? No. Well, okay, you figured that I didn't have Death Smoke, because if you thought I had Death Smoke, you would have just, like, you probably would have gone in with the Hulkus too.
I mean, I didn't verbalize all this because I didn't want to give too much information. Yeah. But like, I kind of think you're trying to set up a good board wipe. I'm trying to.
What in my deck could have possibly clued you in on that?
I mean,
This is not like board wipe the deck.
I'm trying to make that maximally awkward for you.
Sometimes, you just really wish that Bloody Squeedo was a blocker that could actually do something instead of just die.
I know. I am playing Bloody Squeedo also. I know the feeling.
I'm gonna put the Magma Rex to mana. We're gonna run out the Shadow Moon to juice up my Locomotiver.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
And, like, I mean, I can just kill the Meteosaur, but I kind of want to kill the Aquahulkus. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? I don't think it's worth leaving the Aquahulkus, so I'm actually gonna Rumble Gate so I can attack untapped creatures. And I'm gonna kill the Aquahulkus.
That's an interesting choice. I respect it.
Yeah, it was weird how it worked out, but
yeah.
Go ahead. I also didn't particularly like playing Magmarex to mana on the turn that I juice up my Locomotiver. But gotta do what you gotta do.
Right, so we'll draw. You've got one in hand.
Yeah, just one in hand.
This is a tough one.
This is like such an interesting matchup though. Like, I feel like all the decision making in this has been fairly interesting, like, across both games.
Oh, if you saw my hand right now, like, I have way more possible lines than you would expect from just having three cards in my head right now. You probably don't have Burst Shot, because you'd have just played Burst Shot, right? You wouldn't have done this awkward play and, like, played Rumble Gate to attack my untapped creature when I already had you'd have just killed everything.
What if I wanted to save my Locomotiver?
You could have Searing Wave, and you just didn't want to lose the shield. Or you could just have, like, Garbanzo Beans like the other Cocklife Dragon or something.
If you had missed Riaz, this card was going to be so funny. But instead, he's mana.
Okay.
To be fair, if I did have the Galklife Dragon, you can bet your ass that was going to mana instead of the Magmarex.
That's fair. I didn't think about that.
But I mean, actually, in the late game, I do need a beater at some point. I just don't like paying 7 mana for a vanilla beater.
Honestly, I think we just want to put you on no shields here. So, we're gonna Core Isle the blocker.
Okay.
And go in at your last shield here.
Yep. Let's see what it is.
Like, just some other plays I could have done that I was thinking about. Like, I could have Core Isled the guy that buffs Locomotiver and then tried to kill Locomotiver. But I think this is the right...
But yeah, then my blocker is there. Well, it is Magmarex.
Okay, I mean, it's a creature. It's not going to do anything.
He doesn't kill anything, but he's stronger than Meteosaur.
That's true. I mean, all your guys are stronger than Meteosaur. But, yeah, and then Core Isle can't attack, unfortunately.
Yeah. So...
Core Isle with Speed Attacker would be a thing.
God, if Core Isle had Speed Attacker, I would quit this game. I have to run out the blocker, and I can kill your Meteosaur. I then pray you don't have removal, or I can try to just removal the Core Isle. I can't imagine there is, like, any situation where I don't do this right now. So you were right earlier. I was holding the Searing Wave and was trying to preserve it.
Okay.
So I will play that. Now,
right.
I do have to do something at some point, because I know you have Crystal Lancer, and not having shields is a little bit scary. But unfortunately, I don't believe now is the time, so I'm going to end. And I'm going to get hit by the Aqua Guard into Crystal Lancer.
Well, I don't think you're going to be hit by that, fortunately for you.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, man, this is... Oh, man.
Oh, you sound very sarcastic over there.
No, I just had a play, but this changes everything.
No, it wasn't off the top, was it?
You're not dead. Don't worry about that. That would have been...
The way you're talking scares me. You got 3 cards. What are you going to do to me?
Right. Well, we're just going to play Wailing Shadow Belbet Flow. Real powerhouse of a card here. And say go. Show me what you got.
Do you realize how powerful that Wailing Shadow is?
I mean, it's a creature that can attack, which is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, but it's 3,000.
Oh, is it? That buffs my creatures too? What the heck? I didn't even know that. Okay. That's insane. Alright.
I guess this is how it's gonna be. We're about to play top deck Gothams.
Okay.
If you top deck the removal, you got it. I am just gonna discard your whole hand with Atrox.
Okay, that's reasonable. I've got Tornado Flame and Searing Wave.
Oh, okay, yep.
Both pretty good cards.
Well, I mean, You could like tornado. You could searing wave and then tornado flame. Could have. Well, if you had the mana,
no.
you
So
could've.
I was my plan was to Searing Wave, and that was a lot of why I was playing my last turns the way I was.
Yeah.
Like then I drew the thing that could remove your blockers, and you had no cards in hand, so I was like, we're just gonna run this out and dare you to deal with it. Didn't deal with this, but you did deal with my hand.
It's scary though, because I'm top decking now, and I know
Right,
you probably
my
have
turn?
removal with your Emerald Shields. Yeah, go ahead. So I really need
let's
like
draw.
I need a miracle.
This is it's not removal, but it is Aqua Hulkus.
I mean,
take
it still
that.
might be removal.
Oh, we're gonna end the turn there.
All
If
right.
you don't top deck Searing Wave. Have you played? You've played
How many have I
three,
played?
I think. You've played three, so you've
Yeah, I've
probably
played
got
3.
one more. I guess you've probably
And-
got at least one more Rumble Gate too.
And I mean, I also have Burst Shot left, but Burst Shot unfortunately doesn't take care of the Wailing Shadow right now.
Yeah. This is a big guy here.
Well, all right, I have to do something against some. I mean, like, I'm in just such a bad position right now. You have a card. I have a single blocker. If I start attacking stuff, I'm almost for sure giving you removal or something that's gonna get you into the
I mean,
removal.
if you do nothing, you're dead to the board.
Yeah, and the longer I do nothing, I'm gonna kill something. I'm gonna kill something.
Well, you're top decking. I don't know what you're gonna do. Maybe you top decked Gulk Life Dragon.
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
I guess I play it because I have to play it. Obviously, I have to play the Burst Shot. But the game is
was
stupid.
not supposed to kill my creature that it just killed.
Yeah, it doesn't know about Shadow Moon, so you have to put it back. I'm assuming if you had a removal, it probably would have been able to be played. But I guess it could have been Core Isle, could have been something else. But like, you're gonna have two cards as chances to kill a stupid bloody Squeedo. If I don't do anything, I lose. Like, you're gonna get it eventually. I can't just keep fending off weenies. I'm gonna run out of mass removal. I'm down a Burst Shot. I'm down like a lot of Searing Waves. Magma Rex doesn't do anything anymore because I'm buffing your guys. Also, if I go in and I hit a Locomotiver, I die. So like, when do I go in? If not now, then when? So I feel like I have to go in now. If I don't go in now, it's a GG, right? But
not necessarily.
Well, what am I gonna do to come back? My guys are beefy enough that they're decent. I have 5 shields, but if I give you all 5, it's for sure something. You're running Death Smoke will do it. Core Isle will do it. Crystal Memory will do it.
I feel like most of my deck will do it.
Yeah, so when do I do something? I mean, I have to. There's no other option at this point. The Trox is tapped.
Okay, so I will say, honestly, I was just really curious what we do. I have a Core Isle in hand here, so like, it doesn't matter what you do.
Alright, just flip over Shield 5 and 3.
Alright,
Emerald.
This.
Okay, well, either one of those probably would have done it, because you probably can Emerald out what you put down.
So, honestly, I think I would have, like, avoided the shields I put down with Emerald and gone in with, like, 1 or 2 or 3 of the rest, but I don't know. That was just a really tough spot for you.
Honestly, I was just in a pickle.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. That's pretty much the end of the story there. It's pretty much the same as what I was playing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I play tested against a deck that was almost identical to that.
Right.
Now, I want to show you something really quick. So you saw my Trox General of Destruction, right?
Yeah.
Did you see my second Trox General of Destruction?
I don't think so, although I pulled multiples of a few hollows, so I wasn't too surprised. Oh,
did you see my third Trox General of Destruction?
I did not see that either.
Did you see my fourth Trox General of Destruction?
You have the playset, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, I got the playset. I got the 2 Gulk Life Dragons. So pretty much my theory was the only decks you would possibly be playing is like some kind of Evo deck or this that relies on swarming the field with weenies. So I was like, screw it, we're just going mass removal deck. And it ended up working out best by making myself like kind of immune to mass removal. So in this particular matchup, it was interesting because your like removal based on power stuff ends up becoming dead draws, but you make up for it in the fact that you have card draw and I don't.
Yeah, like...
And so it gets to a point where like almost every time in this matchup, it turned into like a top decking war, and I felt like I could edge it out in top decking, but not when I'm sitting on no shields.
Right. That was part of why I went in early, because like I had a board. I had 2 core isles in hand when I did that, so like that was definitely part of why.
For
also.
Sure.
I knew I could I had like the tempo plays there. But like being on no shields is really awkward for you, and like waiting around is just waiting for you to burst shot me, right?
Yeah. Or Searing Wave. Or even like Magma Rex isn't bad because it still clears out the emeralds and the locomotives.
Right. I was so salty when you discarded my Aqua Knight, by the way.
Oh my god, that was Locomotor off the top, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was because I was gonna play Aqua Knight like the turn before that, because my head was Aqua Knight, Merfolk. Then I drew Core Isle, so I was like, okay, I really just want to play this Core Isle and hope he doesn't have an answer. Oh, but I didn't say this, but actually the 2 shields I set with Emerald last game were Terror Pit and Tornado Flame.
Okay, yeah, I felt like almost for sure one of them was going to be a Terror Pit, but yeah.
It would have been pretty awkward for you to go in.
Yeah. But I just like when you're sitting at no shields against a deck that you know is packing Crystal Paladin and Crystal Lancer, like it just doesn't feel good. I can't just sit there. Yeah, but you want to know like I actually had one other crazy pull. So I got my hollows, I got the 4 Trox, and I got 3 Galk Life Dragon.
Oh my god, that's
And now that I know that you have 1 Mist Riaz, this thing is like, it's going right, he's going in the bin. He's never coming out ever again.
God, just for your information, here's the deck I was almost playing today. I loaded in another one. I won't send it all out into the battle zone.
Oh wait, I can look at all your I can just hit look at. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got in here. Gamil, Might of Hatred.
Yeah, the
Titan
demon commands aren't good.
Jeez. I actually tested a very similar deck, believe it or not, but not with the volumes. But it was kind of like somewhere between what I have now and this.
Right.
But I felt like the Mongrel Man was just too slow and it didn't work out.
Mongrel Man, I think, is one of those like trap cards because like it sounds so good.
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm gonna play this and draw so many cards, but then there's a lot like it can just like die. And then
it just flops too often.
And
that was like
also if you can't like even if you like say you play this, they don't have an answer, then you Meteor or something, and like you draw 1 card. That's fine. But like Aqua Hulkus is 3 mana and draws 1 card.
Yeah.
So like in this build though, Mongrel Man was the only card draw I would have had. So like I had to run it pretty much, or just run water, but I didn't want to do that.
Okay, look at this other deck. This is my other deck I was debating between.
Okay, can I look at all cards? Okay, this is actually what I thought you were going to be playing.
Yeah,
in my deck profile, and I think I even said this. I was like, if Ben's on some deck like this with light control and then like the fire board wipes, like a lot of the decks I could do just fold to this basically.
Yeah, I did a lot of testing where I was like balancing my testing between going against like some kind of Evo variants and then a Darkwater Fire control. Yeah. And I felt like this deck, it didn't do as well as I hoped against a Darkwater Fire deck. Because,
okay, I thought this might do fine against that.
Like, it did fine. It was, like, relatively even, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping because, like, the Mist Riaz just ended up dying to the Searing Waves, the Burst Shots, like, everything like that. So it, like, it very rarely stuck around for as long. Whereas the Darkwater Fire deck much more often was pulling out like the Emerald into Merfolk combos and stuff like that.
Right.
So I wanted to mix it up and like keep you on your toes with something new.
Yeah.
And I felt like the deck that I played, the matchup wasn't horrible, but not having the draw was the biggest drawback for sure. That's why I went for a 40 card deck, because it would let me have a better chance of top decking well, because I knew I would be top decking every single game.
No, I think, like, I won 2-0, but I think the matchup would have been more even if we'd played it out to, like, more games.
Yeah. It definitely, like, it has games where I would get blown out, and then it had games where you got blown out. But it was definitely, like, I went into it knowing that the matchup was probably, like, 60-40-ish.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was fine, because if you win an Evo deck, it just got, like, completely dumpstered by this deck.
Oh, right.
Because, like, you hit the Evo baits, and then it's just like, all right, Magma Rex, Burst Shot, anything was just a board wipe, and then the blockers get too strong, and then late game, it can't deal with the trucks.
Yeah, God, Grey Balloon is actually insane in that particular context, because it's not like Bloody Squeedo where it just dies. So.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up before we end up rambling, because last time we ended up talking for, like, I think legit like 25 minutes afterwards. So let's just wrap it up here.
That's
Next
fair.
week, we get Survivors of the Megapocalypse. Now, I feel like there's not that much super exciting in that set, but there is some cool stuff. We get Aqua Surfer is a huge one.
Aqua Surfer is so good.
I feel like that's going to almost be like a shoe-in in every deck of water for the rest of the series.
I think I didn't like running him as like a 4 of, but I'm definitely going to be running at least one of him.
It's going to replace your Aqua Bouncer without a doubt. All right.
That's probably true.
There's some other interesting stuff. Will the Survivors see play? I'm guessing no, but we'll find out next week. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.